Welcome back, guys. This is the day 3 of our little what's the best in Spellbreak little video guides of class tiers, rune tiers, and today we're doing talent tiers, which is going to be a little bit less in depth, more in depth type of vibe, but you'll get the picture. Roll it. Okay, so first we're gonna start with Mind, which is gonna be your first one, the purple one. In all of these classes, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you scroll down 6 talents to choose from. Most of them, in my opinion, really only have like 2 to 3 that you can use in every single build, and then they've got their specific ones per each build that you do that. I'm gonna break them down for overall usefulness, not just individual classes. That will be tomorrow's video, which is gonna be the top 5 builds in chapter 1. But for now, we're just going to kind of break them down for which ones I think are the best overall. In Spellbreak, there's a lot of CC or crowd control, which is the freeze, the shock, the sticky puddles, all of the stuff that basically makes you slow down or not be able to move in your correct type of way, right? Because of that, I think right off the rip, Harmony is probably your most useful talent, which is immune to slow, frozen, and shocked. Incoming damage reduction of 5%. However, you can actually find all this information on the Wikipedia, which is what I'm gonna do right now, just so I can get it exactly right. If you go to Harmony, that reduction goes from 5% when you leveled up to 7 to 10 to 15% damage reduction, just like that, which is really, I mean, just kind of awesome. I mean, it's a 15% and you're not getting immune, you're immune to slow, frozen, and shocked. So right off the rip, I'm gonna go with Harmony. And then secondly, I'm gonna go with Rune Influency, which gives you a +1 rune charge and a -5% rune cooldown, which if you upgrade that, it goes to 7 to 10 to 15% as well. Then I'm gonna say, basically based on you could go Spellslinger here. Spellslinger is gonna be a store extra gauntlets in your runes in your inventory based on whatever class you have. That's gonna actually bump up a little bit higher, and you'll see that actually tomorrow in one of the builds that I do. However, I'm gonna go with number 3 would be Focus Mana with at least 80% mana. It used to be 100%, so this is actually, they've actually made it a little bit easier to get the spell damage. You get spell damage starting at 15%. However, it goes to 18, 20, and then 30% damage buff, which honestly, that sounds a little bit ridiculous. And that's actually your default talent. So this is the one you're gonna get when you start the game. And then you've got Spellslinger or Tracking or Vigor, which honestly, you can put any of them in that talent based, again, not specifically on classes. You can go Spellslinger, which is the sorcery cooldowns of -5, or you can upgrade it and get -8, 10, and 15 as well. And then you've got Tracking on spell hit, outline target for you and your squad for 3 seconds. You upgrade that and it goes 3, 3.5, 4, and 6. And you can see these through walls as well, terrain and invisibility as well. So then you've got Vigor +25, which is then +30, +35, and +50. And remember, this is not to your shield, this is to your overall health. So then you've got that. So then you go move on to body. You can also, by the way, use no talent here. This is what I do when I play Tempest, and it does well. If it's more of like a meme thing, you wouldn't typically, I don't think, use no talent here, but if you want to have fun, do some random things, you can do that as well. Then you've got body, and honestly, the best one here, unless you're playing Clash, but if you're playing the BR, the best one here is gonna be Fervor, without a doubt. Like, this is just the one you're gonna get, which is 15%, or let's read this, which is gonna upgrade to 18, 20, and then 25% as well. So that's your number 1. A lot of people use Dexterity here. I tend to not, because the more you're in the air, the more damage you're gonna take typically. So, however, it does give you less mana cost when you levitate, which is amazing, because you know that your levitation is built into your mana cost, which is the exact same thing that you use to damage other players. So anything that's gonna drop down your mana cost is gonna help you out in any way. So it starts off with jump height of 25%, mana cost -15%, but it goes to 18, 20, and 30% off. Then you've got Scavenging. Scavenging is one of those ones that's a siphon, basically, where on Exile, you get health and armor. It starts off at 25 and then builds up to 30, 35, and then 50 each per kill, which is, I mean, if you're slaying out, that's the one you need to go with. And then you've got Finders Keepers, Fortitude, and Foresight. Fortitude is probably gonna be your best bet right now. We call this an outbreak condom, so that you don't get outbroken and or you don't get sniped for all of everything. Both of those high damage builds really, if you have this up, don't really hurt you at all, because you're going to create a barrier that absorbs 1 source of damage before reforming, cooldown of 60 seconds. If you're going against like people with lightning or people with wind, it's not really gonna help you that much. It's really built just for those high damage builds. It starts off with 60 seconds, and then I think it drops down to 50, 45, and then every 30 seconds that barrier pops up, which can be very annoying to fight against if you do chunk damage instead of tick damage. So then you've got Foresight, which is really cool. Finders Keepers as well. This Finders Keepers actually gives you a chance to find potions, which is going to be the ones that change your, that help your health and your shield regen. So you've got chances to find potions from chests at 25%, chances to find scrolls from chests at 50%. That does go up to, it stays at 25 for potions, but it goes up 50, 75, 100, and 150% chance for scrolls. Foresight is really interesting. It's just 3 points, which makes it a little bit more difficult for me to justify using. You see Future Storms and Mana Vaults, which is a very cool talent. It's a very cool talent. You see enemies on the minimap every 10 seconds, which then updates to every 9, 8, and then 5 seconds. It's a very cool talent. However, it is 3 points, so it's really hard for me to justify using over Fervor and pretty much anything else in this column because it is 3 points. Finders Keepers, I think, is a worse talent. Fortitude, I think, is a worse talent. However, they are cheaper, much cheaper. Then you go to Spirit, and this is where your builds kind of get more based around your preferences. Almost all of these talents are good. Almost all these talents, in my opinion, are very rounded out on which ones you could choose. However, Vital Stone is trash and you should never use it. I'm just kidding. It is trash, but there are times where I guess you could make it. No, you can't. Anyways, so this is one where it's like you have to break it down between fun and more of a competitive side. In my opinion, Ambidextrous is the most fun one in this whole thing. It's what I use when I play Tempest. Actually, like I was saying earlier, I don't use a mind talent. I use Fervor and I use Ambidextrous, and you can use your level 1 skill offhand. So if you use Pyro, you can get the Combust skill. If you use Frost, or I guess it wouldn't even be Pyro, it would be if you use Fire, you'd get the Combust skill inside Pyro. If you use Frost, then you'd get the Frozen Alacrity skill inside Frostborn. Plus you get an offhand spell mana cost of -5, which then updates to -10, -15, and -25. So you're actually getting a mana cost bonus, really, for using this. So that makes the 3 a little bit more worth it. However, in the competitive side of things, you're not gonna wanna do that. You're gonna wanna use either Thirsty, Recovery, Recklessness, or Escapist. All of which, in my opinion, are right around the same level. Depending on your class, this is what you're gonna choose. I happen to choose Escapist when I play Pyro. If I use like Frost or Stone, really, I'll probably play Recklessness. And then Recovery and Thirsty are gonna be your more sustained builds, right? So if I'm gonna break these down, if you wanna sustain for a long time, I'll use Recovery, Thirsty, or maybe even Escapist so you can escape. Recklessness can help you with the sustain. However, it's only because you're doing more damage you can get away. It's not really gonna help you with the sustain as much as these are. But all of these are pretty much going to be your go-to. However, if you want to use higher number builds in mind and body, then it's either going to be Escapist or Reckless, mainly because they're so cheap. So I'm just going to go down the line here and just tell you about them a little bit. Escapist run speed +1 on damage taken, run speed +1 for 5 seconds. When you update that, it goes +1, +2, +3, +5. So if you have full Escapist, you are speedy as hell. Like you are just booking it when you take any kind of damage. Then you got Recklessness on no armor, spell damage +15%. On no armor, mana cost -15%. Recklessness is gonna go up 15, 18, 20, and 25 for both of these. So you're gonna get all the way up to 25% spell damage, which if you can kind of tell, you can kind of pair these very well with maybe one and the other one, aka Focus Mana. That's gonna do a shit ton of damage to pretty much anybody, and you get that mana cost bonus, right? Then you've got Recovery. On health damage, regenerate 35% of damage taken for 12 seconds. You update that, and it goes 50% stays. Actually, I think it's 35. Yeah, it's 35%. The Wikipedia is not updated. If you go to 35%, damage taken over 12, 10, 8, and 6 seconds. 6 seconds, which is crazy. Then you've got Thirsty. Potion and Shard consume speed 35%. Consumable replenish health and armor of nearby teammates for 50% as well. That updates to 35, 50, 65, and 90% consumption speed, which is just if you take the small ones, it is just hilarious how fast it is. And like I said, Vital Stone is just kind of there. On disruption, once resurrect with 10 health, immune for 4 seconds after resurrection. All that really does when you upgrade it is it upgrades how much health you have. However, what it doesn't really tell you here is that when you die and you use your Vital Stone and you haven't read a scroll yet, if you read a Spirit Scroll, it's gonna replenish your Vital Stone. So you can technically drop, die, go find a scroll, or you go die, find another scroll, you go die, you find another scroll, and then you can die one more time, right? That's 4 deaths technically you can get in the game. However, it's still not really worth it, right? If you can actually get away that many times, kudos to you, but like basically all that this talent's gonna do is gonna highlight you with a yellow thing, and people are gonna be like, oh, let's count to the specific time. Pretty sure it's 4 seconds. Let's count to, yes, 4 seconds right here. Immune for 4 seconds. Let's count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slap you with whatever, and you're dead. It's not really a good solo v solo talent. However, you can get away in squads or clash if you are building it. So yeah, that's pretty much how Spirit works. I'm sorry that Spirit is a little bit more your preference type of thing, but all 4 of these are just so good that it's hard to pick specifically what my number 1 is, right? However, I do use Escapist just because I like to be speedy and like to get in there and just do damage to everybody. So that's my talents build. That's my talents tier list. If you, I say this at the end of every video, if you feel like I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. Go to my Twitch. I am live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern to pretty much whenever I feel like getting off, which is usually around 3 p.m. East. So come tell me I'm wrong, or come tell me I'm right, or come yell at me for giving away your secrets. But if you like the video, hit the like. If you like this, if you want to subscribe for more, which is going to be the top 5 builds of chapter 1 video tomorrow, hit the red box. Love you guys, and I'll see you around. Peace.